If your first deal is buy for $5, sell for $20,000, that's a huge success. It's proof of concept. It's a ton of marketing money, but a lot of people get off the ground with these and it does well.
We get a ton of these deals because it's a smaller asset class. It's less likely going after someone for $1 million property and that's worth $3 million.
Yep.
Like that's a $2 million spread there. But when you're talking about $5,000 property that's worth $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, the motivation is there because the asset's not worth nearly as much.
Just make sure you understand the market. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. These shouldn't be like question mark deals. Worst case scenario, I list this deal at 19 and I sell it right away.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Real Estate Investing Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about unveiling the secrets to turning $5,000 into $27,000. I'm your host, Andrew Apke, joined again by my brother and business partner, Ron Apke. And this episode's about one deal, taking one deal that's $5,000 you're buying it for and turning it to $27,000. This isn't about turning your $5,000 of money you want to put into this business to $27,000. That's easy to do. We talk about that really in all our other episodes. But we wanted to talk about this because we talk about bigger deals a lot, but at the same time, there's so many small deals out there, and we've done them over and over again. Our students have done them over and over again of, $5,000 deals, $7,000 deals, $8,000 deals, $4,000 deals, and selling them for 25, 30, 50. Like those deals, the margins are insane. And although it's not as pretty or doesn't sound as good as selling, buying a $75,000 piece of land and selling it for $200,000, it's this deal, the margins and the low risk, and it's awesome what it can do for your business, and it feeds it can really be a good stability for your business.
Yeah, and over the years, we have so many examples of these types of deals, 5,000 to 25, 27, 29, and it's just, you can find these deals. These deals are out there for sure. And these are like I don't want to call them base hits, Dan, because it's such like a base hit, I feel like would have more risk than that. You know what I mean? Like this is a double, probably not a triple, but like this is still making $15,000, $20,000 on a deal. And these deals, like I said, are out there. But the keys to it, like and the thing about it, let me back up a little bit. Like Dan said, we talked a lot about big deals. I don't want you buying a deal for $5,000 that's worth $10,000.
No.
Like that's not what we're trying to do. We talked a lot about buying for 40, 50% of market value. When you're offering $5,000 on a deal, I want that to be 25% of market value. Yeah. Maybe like 33%, but buy for 5, sell for 15. Your margins get thin. Like they get thinner than they sound.
Still good for someone starting out though, but once you get up and going, they're not good. They're hassles.
100%. But these have such an impact on like new investors because like the margins are better than anything they've ever done. So if your first deal is buy for 5, sell for $20,000, like that's a huge success. It's proof of concept. It's all these things. It's a ton of marketing money. And that's what I want. A lot of people get off the ground with these deals. Not saying I'm just target these deals, but a lot of people get off the ground with these. Their first deal is buy for 5, sell for $15,000, $17,000. Right. And it does well.
Yeah, exactly. And these deals are there's a variety of reasons why someone would accept these buy for $5,000, sell for $27,000 deals. And you got to realize it's all about motivation when you have margins like that. Like the people need that money. They need it quick. That property is, it's not a huge asset. And a lot of these people, we get a ton of these deals because it's a smaller asset class. You're talking, an asset that's worth $27,000. And you can offer them, quick close and cash really fast. And it all comes down to the motivation of why. It's less likely going after someone for $1 million property and that's worth $3 million.
Yep.
Because that's that's a $2 million spread there. But when you're talking about $5,000 property that's worth $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, maybe you buy $8,000, sell for $25,000, things like that. The motivation is there because the asset spread and the asset's not worth nearly as much.
And there's no way for them to sell it. Like that's the reality of it. No realtor is taking a $25,000 piece of land deal. I don't want to say, but very, very few realtors. Even if they do take it, they probably don't know how to sell it because these deals, we're not selling. If we get this type of deal, we're not selling on the MLS. Like this will be a Facebook sale. This will be a land.com sale. This will be a Craigslist sale where we'll sell it. So you need to know how to actually sell it. And that's what we're offering to these sellers is here's $5,000. Do you want it? I can get it for you in 2 weeks. We can do this extremely fast, make it easy. We'll pay closing costs. You don't have to worry about taxes. And like Dan said, it's just a timing thing. It's the motivation of the seller at the time that they receive your offer is like, what's the motivation at that time? And then you just have to do the work, make it easy for them. You cannot make it a difficult process because they're not getting a ton of money, but if you can make it easy enough, it makes sense for them.
Absolutely. And these are all off-market deals. I mean, these are blind offers that we're typically sending. You can do it neutral and all that stuff. But for these lower deals like this, where you're offering a specific amount, offer blind offers at a small amount with a quick close, like Ron was saying, and everything in your letter. These are off-market deals. You're going directly to vacant landowners in your targeted area. Maybe it's outside Macon, Georgia. You're going, two acres is worth about, $20,000. Maybe you're going to offer $5,000 for them, right? So anything between 2 to 3 acres, offer $5,000 to $7,000 or whatever that is. And it's all off market, right? We want to find the most motivated people. It's a shotgun approach. I'm going to send anyone who owns 2 to 3 acres of vacant land in Macon County, Georgia, or around that area, offer letter with that price on it. And that's how you get those deals. Ron and I talk so much about the bigger deals, like I said, going from 2 acres, your minimum, to 1,000 acres, 500 acres, all that. But there's so much room in the majority of your deals that will come back will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 acre deals, just because that's the person that's most likely to sell their asset.
Yeah, the big deals are amazing, and we've made so much money, so much more money than these small deals on the big deals, but they're so much fewer and farther between. Like if you're worrying about marketing money or running out of marketing money or stretching it too thin or not being able to get the bigger deal, whatever the situation is, like you need to keep some of these smaller offers in there because it's going to be a higher response rate. You're going to have a higher close rate. It's going to, I want new people to get that proof of concept. Like it's very, very important. And then even if you're experienced too, and you don't mind doing, you want to be more particular maybe on these smaller deals as far as the margin, the risk, like the quality of the land, all that. But these deals, they help, they really do. But the deals that do push your business forward, like if you're trying to get out of your job, like doing $50,000, $100,000 profit deals is what's going to make it at the end of the day. But I think you're going to go a different direction there.
No, I was going to say what makes this so appealing for someone just starting out too is if you do have the money to do it and you don't need to split the if you have $4,000 or $5,000, if you can fund yourself and keep all the profits and money, because the risk is so low. If it's good land and you have it at $5,000, the risk is very low. It's a lot different than looking at $100,000 asset that you guys should be going after too. But looking at $100,000, even if you have that $100,000, you're looking at it and saying, I think it's worth 200 or whatever it's worth, and there's a lot of margin in there. That's a lot more money, and that's a lot more risk because it's a lot more money. So these smaller deals, especially for funding yourself, selling yourself, it's really good experience too. Don't use a realtor, just try to sell it yourself. Answer the calls, get it up on the MLS, Facebook.com, land.com, all the other sources, and it's a really, really, really good time if you can fund it yourself. If you can't fund it yourself, I still think you can go after them because there's really high margin deals and low risk, and they usually sell quick. These cheaper deals do sell quicker in general.
Yeah. I think like Dan said, for funding yourself, you can change things really fast. You can fuel your marketing business.
Literally get your freedom.
You don't have to worry.
Financial freedom very quickly.
100%. Like if you have $5,000, $6,000 after marketing, you do not, what we always say is do not bleed all your marketing money on a deal. Like that's not smart, where your marketing has to stop to do a deal. But the thing that's great about these as well is how fast they turn.
Yeah.
It takes us a while sometimes to sell $180,000, $200,000, $250,000 properties. The marketing has to be way better. All these things have to be improved. And then there's just less buyers out there opposed to a $20,000 property. There might be hundreds of buyers in the area where there might be 10 or 15 or 20 buyers for that 100-acre property you're trying to sell.
Yeah. And one of the biggest parts about understanding how fast it's going to turn is understanding the market, because that's the biggest thing. You get these properties in really, really slow markets, and although there's margins in it and you can undercut it, you just got to be careful with the market you're in, because there are slow markets out there where these won't sell. If it's a very, very rural property and it's 2 acres and nothing else is 2 acres around it, and it's just sitting kind of out there, there's risk there for sure. But usually, like with these deals, there's so much margin in them that you can undercut the market, and there's just so much room for error. Like if you think it's worth $27,000 and you're in for 5, like you have room. You could go down to 15 realistically and sell it right away. But yeah, that's the biggest thing, is understanding your market, and that's how this game works. It's, offering a cash offer to any properties that are not listed for sale. These are all off-market deals. We're offering a quick closing. We'll pay the taxes, pay all the fees at closing, take everything off your plate, and we'll do all the work for you. And it's understanding the market and how fast it's going to turn as well.
Yeah, for sure. These deals, I don't want to say they can bite you in the butt, but they can. In some areas, these can take very, very long to sell. You want to understand how fast things are moving. If there's no buyers out there, there's no buyers out there. It doesn't matter what you put. I mean, at some point it matters what you post the price for, but like some of these areas, like there's no land moving at all. Some of these properties end up, make sure you're doing due diligence on HOAs, stuff like that, because a lot of these properties are in HOAs and you might see comps outside the HOA. Those aren't comps for your property in an HOA. You need to find like-kind comps. Don't like, you can't use a comp from way far away. It just make sure you understand the market. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. These shouldn't be like question mark deals. Yes, there's low risk, but these need to be like, okay, I'm sure worst case scenario, I list this deal at 19.9 and I sell it right away. I'm going to try to bleed out $25,000, but I know if I list this at $19,000, I can move this tomorrow. And that's how confident you need to be in these smaller deals. It can't be like best case scenario, I get $15,000, worst case scenario, like $9,000. And then like after closing, you're gonna make $2,000 and it's a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I think overall, I'm curious to see that everyone, like, what do you think about, obviously a lot of people are doing bigger deals, which I do not go away from bigger deals.
We're not saying that.
Yeah, like $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 properties, those will pay your bills much more than these will, trust me. But for someone starting out or someone who just wants to add this to their pipeline and someone who doesn't mind making a quick $20,000, these are very low risk deals. I do them all day long. What do you think the percentage of people in the community around that are getting deals sub $10,000 are versus?
I think it's a low percent. I would guess 25% maybe. No, we don't see it. We're not reviewing many. Maybe there's more being done.
Of acquiring for 10.
Yeah, a lot of times we tell people not to start at offers that low. If you are starting at offers that low,
probably like 30%.
Yeah, maybe.
Think of our calls like $8,000 deals a lot last week.
Yeah, there's a lot more. I think there's more than there used to be, maybe. Our biggest thing is no matter how small of deals you go to, is make sure you don't exclude the bigger ones.
Yes.
And also don't be going to 0.2 acres. That's just, I mean, you can all you want, but it's not our bread and butter at all. There's so much more risk involved with that. These are like for
this is rural. This is rural.
2 acres, $8,000. 2 acres, $7,000 offers. Selling for 22. Yeah. All those are like deals where you can make a ton of money, and that's what we're kind of referring to. But
when we first started, our biggest deal was, or not our biggest deal, our biggest pipeline was full of buy for $9,000-$10,000 and sell for 25 to 30. Like that's what we were doing for probably 50% of our deals.
Yeah, that was like our nest egg that we kind of started with.
We got stuck in it too and got frustrated with how to get out.
Yeah, you figuring out how to get bigger deals is because if bigger deals are longer, not even longer sales process. It's just a lower response rate. There's less big land out there than smaller land. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I was mad about buy for 8, sell for $25,000, but we definitely had a chunk of those.
Yeah, we had a lot of them, but it was a good problem to have because if you're getting those deals and they're in your pipeline, that means you're making money and it's low risk and you can fund some of them yourself. Maybe you sell one and you have the money now. Use funding for the first one. Now you have the money, you can put it back in and reinvest your profits back into those deals. It's just, they're such good margins.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't have anything else for that, Dan.
I don't either, guys. As always, thank you for joining. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. It really drives our mission forward. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next episode.
Thanks, everybody.
As always, thank you for joining. Please do us a huge favor and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and share this with a friend. It really means the world to Ron and I, but more importantly, it could help change the life of someone else. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next episode.